here, we're gonna have a great time doing it. So we're gonna wait for
gauge. I got it where I wanted at 35 psi. Now this may be a little high. Alrighty, good afternoon and welcome to part 2 of the facelift for Defiant. As we left you off last week, which to me was yesterday, I went ahead and I painted the grill assembly itself after taping off all the areas that I wanted to remain black, which, let me just lift this up for you over here, which is typically the headlight buckets, the center area where the LED lights go, and of course this other grilled area that matches the main grill down here. Other than that, I painted everything the same tan light color as Defiant, and I gotta say it's like super close. In fact, if I was to compare it, let's just see it real quick. It is super close, maybe a bit lighter, but not enough to upset me. So I'll tell you what, before I move any further, let me go ahead and show you from your perspective what this grill looks like so far. Alrighty, and here she is, our grill, which was black, and I painted it. Now, of course, that desert sand like color. There are a few imperfections, but as most of you know, I am just a YouTuber. I am a do-it-yourselfer. I am not a mechanic or a skilled tradesman, like let's say a body shop painter, nothing like that. And please forgive this dark area right here. This is just shadow. It is all painted. It looks pretty cool though. And there are some right here. This is actually a little bit darker, but this part's actually going to be covered by the grill. It's not even going to be seen, so we're good on that. The same with this over here. And let's see what else we got. If we go to the other side, actually looking pretty sharp there, if you don't mind me saying so. Let me get around my table over here, because I don't have a large work area, and that's all right. I'm a survivor, right? I do what I got, but it does look pretty good. So here's going to come the moment of truth. I went ahead and I taped off as best I could, but you can see that the tape itself is actually peeling. So these areas are lifted. This leaves me with a concern: was there any overspray that bled in there? And that's what we were trying to avoid yesterday. So let's go ahead and peel it and have a look. Alrighty, so here we go. Let me go ahead and first let me rotate this to, again, what is to me an upside down rotation. I am going to start with the upper grill area. Let's take a look at how much overspray is involved. I hope not a lot. I really pray none, but the way that tape has been lifting leaves me a little weary. Well, I'm actually impressed so far. Be careful. Be careful. All right. I remember I did this when I was a child. Didn't realize the paint was still wet. Yeah, that went bad. Okay. I remember, yeah, they were painting a tennis court, and I was real young. And when they were peeling the tape, I said, "Hey, I'm gonna help." And I started to peel the tape, and I didn't realize it was wet, and I had all kinds of white paint all over my hands. Of course, being a little kid, I didn't know how to handle it. So what do we do as little kids? We try and hide it. Not bad. Wow. Really didn't bleed as I'm looking at it. There's a little run, but no bleed, and I can just clean that off a little bit. But all in all, wow, impressive. I could maybe touch it up a little bit more in here. I should retape that and redo it. I will. Let's go ahead and check the rest of it first. See how bad it bled out. So we're just gonna peel it from here. Those are beautiful lines. A little bit of overspray right there. But I got some beautiful lines in there. Oh my goodness. Careful. Yeah, nice line. I got a little overspray right there. I could clean that up here, clean that up right there. Okay, that's a bleed mark. That's gonna have to be cleaned. Got some bleed in there. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not good. We're gonna have to repaint that. But that's okay. That's okay. That's why we're checking. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna finish taking off all this tape over here. That's a beautiful line. A little bit of a run. I can clean that. Here, here, and here. Okay, I got 3 spots, and there's 1 bucket I need to clean. I got 1, 2 spots of a little overspray there. They can easily clean, and this is an actual run that really needs to be cleaned off. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off, retape it, and respray it. You've already seen me do this already. I'm not gonna make you go through that again. So let's go ahead and hang in there until it gets done. This is probably not going to get finished today, obviously. So we will continue our adventures. Oh goodness, it'll probably be next weekend. Being since tomorrow is a work day and I got all kinds of stuff to do and appointments to keep. So, okay, this is a to be continued project, and we'll get to you as fast as we can. Alrighty, here we are again. Of course, after our last visit, I went ahead and I retaped the grill and applied another coat. Of course, I cleaned off all of the overspray and any run spots. I did that first, of course, and then of course I retaped and repainted. And just to cover my base here, you got to remember that the grill itself is ABS plastic. So in my search for how am I gonna, what am I gonna use as a thinner to remove all this overspray or bleed or run. And out of all the places I found something in Reddit. But because it is ABS plastic, I used isopropyl alcohol. I just read that and it worked. Isopropyl alcohol actually worked on ABS plastic to remove the little bit of excessive overspray, run, or bleed. And it came out great. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this grill. Take a look at this grill once more. And there we are. Okay, so now it's covered of still. I haven't touched it since. Let me make sure everything looks somewhat decent in the sun. And what I'm looking for is any overspray or run. This side actually looks good. This side looks good too. The real story is under the tape. So let's start to unmask our little beast over here. Let's take that one off. This is a big one. Alrighty. That's just precious. Look at that thing. Alrighty, let's grab it from this side here. So far it's looking nice. That is a nice line. That thing came out beautiful. I mean, I can show you on camera, which I will, but really, nothing compares to seeing it up close and personal. Very pleased with the outcome. This tape job was a whole lot better than the previous one. Now, the other piece of resistance, as they say. Gotta be careful with my tape lines here. Be careful. Be careful. And what I'm looking for is the slight imperfections in the lines. You know. That's nice. There's actually... Oh my God, it doesn't look bad at all. Wow. I mean, for what it is, for an untrained, non-professional, I've probably never really done it in my life before. This is nice. There's a couple spots I can clean up, but it's nothing to really sweat or break a sweat about. But this guy's ready to be put back together. Yeah. Yeah. Groovy. All right, so before we move forward, let me go ahead and I'm going to give you a peek. Let's go ahead and flip this guy around. Now, mind you, like I said, I don't work in a shop. I'm not a professional. I'm not trained in any kind of like painting exercises, whether it be auto body or homes, nothing like that. It's just me just giving it my best shot as a beginner. But let me go ahead and let me give you a good front side view of this grill. Alrighty, and there we are. Gonna give you a nice shot over here. And I'm not very stable right now, and that's okay. Now I'm gonna show you the whole thing. I'm not gonna hold anything back. I'm gonna be completely transparent. And yes, you are gonna see a few imperfections, but that's okay. It's nothing I can't clean. But for the most part, it came super nice. Is those tiny, tiny, tiny details I have to pay attention to. Like, let's say this mark right here, I can clean this up, no problem. There's a little bit, you can barely see a little bit of overspray inside the headlight bucket, but that's nothing I can't clean. You know, other than that, I think it's looking super. But this guy is ready to be reassembled. All right. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of while I'm here. All right, so just like the other day when we took it apart, we're gonna do the same thing to put it back together. I only used the original cardboard shipping box from this grill just to paint it, but I'm no longer gonna use it. I still have that big sleeve of bubble wrap, and that's what I'm gonna use to lace my table before I put the grill down, because you know I don't want to ruin my little Picasso paint job because I was too excited or in a hurry or a little bit reckless. I want to protect it. Yeah, it's not the best job in the world, but I want to protect it right now, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. All right, so let's go ahead and grab that. This right here, flip it upside down, and yes, I'm gonna go in this direction. Right on. Alrighty, seeing since the main lower grill is the heaviest part, let's go ahead and put that on first. What did I do with that grill? Oh, there it is. I did not prepare myself. Haha, silly me, huh? And move my table. Oh, I got something else in my way. Wow, my garage is loaded today. Oh my goodness. And that's all right. Let me go ahead and move this guy out of my way a little bit more. There you go, that'll do me. Here's this grill. All right, let me get back around. So just for the time being, we get a good grip on this. I'm gonna place it in its mounting area. And that is, okay, so it's the dimension, size, and shape, really dimensionally the shape. That's okay, that's all right. Let's get the hardware that I put in my magnetic tray. Now there was, I think 10, but it's all right, they all are in the same tray, they didn't go anywhere. So I don't expect anything negative to have happened to them. And I need a screwdriver number 2. So let's go ahead and let's get these guys in there. All right, at this point I got 2 things going on. One, as you saw me run the screws around the grill, I just started them. I probably went them in halfway. I wanted to make sure that they're all lined up right. They're all gonna have a no or a low to no resistance as they went in. I was also checking out the screws at the same time. Now I got a plastic main lower grill being screwed or bolted to the actual grill assembly itself. And they're both ABS plastic. And I just noticed that the screws they're using, as I mentioned the other day, they're like some kind of sheet metal screw. And if you really look at that tip, these are self-tappers. Why would they do that to plastic? I don't know. Maybe for them it was just easier, less expensive, who knows. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and tighten on these bolts. Alrighty, with the lower grill already installed, we're ready to move on to reinstall the LED lights. I'm really dying to show you what it looks like right now, but I want to hold off until I'm done. And all I'm doing is I'm switching tips. I'm going from a regular number 2 Phillips to a Phillips Clean. It's still, actually, this is a number 1 Clean instead of a Phillips number 2. Still a little narrower. And I remember when I took these out, I used the number 2 and it works fine. But this number 1 Clean fits in this screw head a whole lot better. So I'm gonna move forward and do that. So first, grab this fella and I'm gonna put him this ways so I can get better access to the lights. And yes, I know, remember, some of y'all yelled at me, Steve, the bag's in your toolbox. Thanks for reminding me, y'all. Bag's in my toolbox. All right. And this is gonna be that easy. This is, oh, the instruction paperwork. Extra baggie. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just for ha-has, I'm gonna take the rest of the stuff out. That's the other hardware that came in the bag. And this is our daisy chain for the lights. Put that there. Let me take anything unnecessary and take it off the bench. Let me go ahead and seal on my box before I dump it and get upset, because I will. Put there for right now. Alrighty. Now, as you remember, the lights are completely symmetrical, left, right, top, bottom, front, back. So it doesn't matter how we install them, it's all going to be the same. So, let's just set them in their place first. You know what, y'all? I was wrong. For some reason, I'm having a little difficulty putting this one in. I can actually see that the light does have a slight trapezoid shape, so they are a specific way to go in. So, and that is like the only thing. So slight, I didn't even pay attention to it because it's all blended, of course, in the lens. But let's put them in the correct way. It's a good thing I didn't start tightening with bolt, eh? Alrighty, I think I'm about done with the light install. Let's go ahead and flip it around and give it a good look. Not bad, man. Looking good. I'm gonna take it outside for a second, see how it looks in the sun. Alrighty, I'm gonna give it a flip one more time. I am gonna take advantage that we're still on the table here. And let's go ahead and install the daisy chain. It's like super simple, kind of fast, and we don't have to forget about it because it'll get done. Then we can like really forget about it. All right. Now the wiring on these lights is gonna be like super simple. It is just a 2-wire positive and negative, or red positive, black negative. Now it looks a little freaky because you got all of these blacks and reds floating around everywhere. This is really just a daisy chain. This is how it looks with all of them hooked up together. That does look weird, but that's how it goes. Okay, yeah. And I'll run it towards the passenger side. Okay. So by the end, all you have is this red positive and a black negative. But what I'm going to do, somewhere in the middle there, I'm going to interrupt this line. I am going to put a quick disconnect for the just in case I got to remove the grill to do other work like I do all the time. And I'm also going to remove these type of connectors, whatever they put on there. I'm just going to cut those off. The red one, I'm going to splice it into the same wire for the halos for my headlights and my fog lights. And the black one is just a ground. It could be a chassis ground. It could be direct to the negative of the battery. It doesn't matter. You know, so we're gonna, well, I'm gonna say it doesn't matter. I'm not an electrician. We'll try it directly on the negative of the battery. I'll cut this off. I'll put like a little ring connector on there. And if it works, it works. Or for some weird reason that I don't understand why it stayed on, I'll disconnect it from the negative. I'll put it on the chassis ground. That should be fine. But I'm going to try my way first. But let's go ahead and let's route the daisy chain and connect these wires, and then I'm going to show you the grill. Its end product. It came out beautiful, I think. Just gorgeous. All right, daisy chain is connected. Alrighty, so I'm ready to show you. Let's go ahead, and first I'm going to show you the back of this grill. I want to show you how the daisy chain is connected. I know most of you know, a lot of you do not, and I really want to share this experience with you. So let me go ahead and grab that camera, and I'm going to give you this view of how the daisy chain connects to the lights. Alright, so now as I put the lights on, there's one screw on each side. Of course, these are shape specific, so I corrected that on my own. Yay me. Okay, so now there's a connector right here, and the next one has the same connector. All 5 of them have the same connector. Now what it is you got all the reds merging into one and all the blacks merging into one. So as they're all connected, you can see that all 5 LEDs are connected straight to the daisy chain. Now it's not really a daisy chain, I'm just calling it that because it's the most familiar kind of wiring, you know, and it all leads to this one end right here with these ugly connectors that I'm going to cut off after I figure out where I'm going to mount them. I'm going to measure for length, and like I said, I'm going to put maybe a quick disconnect somewhere in this area where my fingers are. I got to measure first just in case I got to remove the grill, and if I'm going to do more work, yeah, I'll put a quick disconnect. In fact, I have a couple, actually I got a few that are waterproof, and that's going to be my best option. But right now, let's go ahead and flip this the grill. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Alrighty, y'all, there she is. I swear to God, it looks very freaking cool to me. Alright. I mean, it's not perfect, but not bad for a guy with absolutely no experience whatsoever. Can't tell me that don't look cool, Brad. I'm really digging it. Defiant's really gonna have a whole new look. Alrighty, so at this point we're ready to go ahead and start disassembly. What we have to do is we're gonna open the hood. There are those 6 little push pin type connectors here. We have these 6 push type metal clip connectors at the bottom of it. Then we could just pull the grill out. From there, we're just going to assess what's going on over here. But before we put that grill on, there's another surprise. And I found a surprise right here. This headlight has 2 cracks in it, 2 nice splits that I know are pretty bad for the moments that it does rain here in Las Vegas. The inside of that headlight received so much humidity. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the headlight while we're at it. Shoot, I don't have it here. I'm gonna show you that in a moment. Let me go ahead and collect myself. I'm first gonna check on a couple other things and I'll bring out with you. But at this point, all we gotta do is disassemble this whole thing right here, put the new lights in, put the grill on, rewire everything. The new lights got halos also, so we gotta rewire the halos, and then wire those lights, and we're about done. So this is not as bad as I thought. All right, just hang in there for me, okay? Alrighty, everything's looking good so far. Now, before I start the disassembly, there's one more thing I want to do on this grill. And I want to go ahead and prepare it. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take these little metal clips and I'm going to put them on the mounting studs where they go, so that when we're ready to push the grill onto the chassis, all the fasteners are already there. So of course, yeah, I just adjusted my camera. I'm going to give you a little shot there. Maybe that's too much. I'm good with that. Alrighty. So let's give her a go one more time. We're going upside down or face down. And I'm looking at 6 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now these are the factory locations of the original 7-slot grill where they mount to the chassis. So that's not going to be altered in any way. We're just using new fasteners instead of the busted ones that have been on Defiant for the last 7 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got a 7th one. Either I counted wrong or I really got a spare. What? 6. All right, not all these are on. Now, I did not miscount, and I did get a 7th one, and this is a spare. Don't know why, don't need it, but I'm thankful. So, this is what I'm going to do. Right now, I'm going to show you this clip. Most of you don't know what they look like. So this is what we're looking at. Oh my God, that sun's a killer. It is a triangle shaped little bracket like this, or clip. It's got these protruded ends on the, oh, my fingers are in the way. This right here is out, and that's going to grab the chassis. Now, if you actually look at it from the bottom, it's got teeth, one on each side, looking like they're going inward. So how this works is, let's pretend that my finger is like one of those little stems that's supposed to clamp on. This slides over, and the teeth is curved kind of inward and up as it goes in. So it makes it easier to go in, but to back it out, it's a bear, for lack of better expressions or other expressions. It's a bear to pull it out. So this is a great design. And of course, the Chrysler Jeep's been using these a lot. And you know, it's not a bad design. So, okay, we got that done. Actually, I don't like this teeny bag. I'm gonna toss it out. Let me get me a bigger bag, something easier to handle. Let's use this one for right now. And these are the replacement. Son of a gun, drop one. Oh, it's all right. I found it. I found it. And I'll put that spare in here just for right now until I'm ready to go. All right, so put all this business down. Remember, Steve, the push pins are on your toolbox. Okay. Wow, that looks pretty freaking neat. So excited about this, and like I mentioned this little mark earlier, I can clean this after it's installed. I want to get the majority of this done. Well, that was just dust. Oh my God. Yeah, buddy, looking good. Looking good. All right, at this point, I'm gonna take me a break. I'm gonna go chat with my wife, play with my dog, get me something to drink. It's almost supper time. I'm probably gonna take care of that business, and then we'll start taking that assembly apart. Like I said, we're gonna open the hood, we're gonna remove the front grille. We are going to remove the 2 headlights. We are going to install the new headlights, rewire the halos. We are going to install the new grille and wire up the 5 LEDs, and then we should be done. Not a bad process right here. Just allow me a moment, and we'll finish this up shortly.